Hello and welcome. I'm back for part 3. I'm going to take my time with this and also just, unfortunately, given that this is YouTube, it is a public platform, I have to censor the fuck out of it, really. And also as well, I don't know if I'm actually truly ready to share this. So I have to kind of honor myself first and just be really unfortunately, I have to skim over some of the graphic details, but you're going to get the gist of the next part of this astral visit. So if you are new to this series or this little part 3-parter that I'm doing, please go back and watch part 1, the intro, listen to part 2, I would advise, and then come now and click on this 3rd installment. To be really honest, this is so heavy and so dark and confronting that I don't really think it's best to go ahead and share. Like I said, I've decided just, sitting with this overnight that it's probably best, like I said, to just keep this PG. I know this isn't PG, but, for obvious reasons, censorship and all that. But I will probably pause this and then at the end of what I've said in this part, and then I'll come in and explain the ending and how I got out, and then kind of talk about the aftermath and have a bit of a discussion on the knowledge that I've learned, the downloads that I got. When I say download, I mean information that has come through since. So that's where I'm at. There is still bits and pieces of information coming through about specific demons, and also I want to make it clear when it comes to the demonic, there are levels to it. So I did not see any of the goadic demons in this visitation because it was quite brief. But as I will tell you later, and I've said it once and I'll say it again, time moves very differently in hell. It's very slow compared to the time zone here, or the time how humans how we recognize and measure time. So back to the story, I was walking in this corridor that went on forever. There were junctions in the corridor, and like I said, there were some little windows where you could see in. This is the parts where I'm going to have to just skim over it. So there was one particular room where I briefly walked past, and I don't know how I wasn't spotted. I don't know. I think that the demons were just so consumed with what they were doing. It was basically a gang rape. There was a woman strapped to a table, and the demons are all basically waiting for their turn. It was like side on with their backs turned. I just got a quick glimpse, so I couldn't tell everything, but I could see the demons. Now, I want to talk about them. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Some of them have human faces. Some of them have very doll-like features. Some of them have very distorted faces, very long noses. Their faces like full of pus and rot. Some of them are different colors. The ones that I saw were red. They had like very dark, thick, red-colored skin. Mind you that, of course, the lighting in these rooms was very dim, and the lighting that was outside of this chamber was only this cloudy, heavy, dark sky, which was red and dark and mostly red and black. So you've got to like understand that the atmosphere of this place, I was getting knocked out. I was not fully conscious, but I wasn't in a state of dream. Okay, I want you to understand the difference between astral travel and just having a nightmare. This was not a nightmare. This was the real thing. And that's why I'm putting myself out there doing a testimony like this. But I think it's important that people do come forth and do this if it's authentic, and just to explain what is out there. And in some cases, I would say now, I'll just say it, what people are going to be going to, like what you've got to look forward to if you're doing fucked up shit. I probably will do a follow-up video maybe when I'm ready. I don't know when, but I'll get on to, explaining my deeper thoughts on this. But for the graphic nature of it, yes, there was gang rape. And now the demons get very bored. They get bored of torturing humans. They are always coming up with ways to fuck with you. Some of the rooms were empty, but it looked like the people were hallucinating, like they were talking to themselves. One of them was a man that I think he was just seeing visions of his significant other. So that's the mind torture that he was getting. Demons will show you your kids being tortured. Demons can show you visions of things that your family might say about you behind your back. Demons will they know your insecurities. So, another one I saw as I was walking down the corridor, I looked into the window just briefly, was the demon was like, they talk to you while they do it. So it's very slow, very drawn out. Sometimes there were people in multiple souls in one room. Some of the rooms were on fire. And I started looking, and it was like, I think what happens is once you burn to ash, you just reform again in hell, because there is nothing physical for the fire like to consume. It's the consumption of the soul on a loop. And they don't like you to be conscious, like they don't like you to try and pray. They hate praying. Praying in hell is absolutely forbidden. That was the vibe that I got as well. And yeah, so there was this one thing that I saw, which I'm going to just skip over this a little bit. You're going to have to just take my word for it. The demon was making a masterpiece. Like, he was cutting off this woman's face and sculpting her. I also saw a room with chopped up Barbie dolls and what looked like skulls, faces, bits and pieces of. I'm just going to summarize over that as well. I don't want to say it too much. I mean, yeah. And the screaming, and also they make you watch what they do, so you have to watch. There's mirrors there that will show you what you look like. In some cases, they let you go, and then you think you're free, and then they just catch you again. It's like cat and mouse. So I think that's probably the best description I'm gonna give you there. In terms of what I saw, it's complete suffering. Everything is unclean. The walls, I can't describe. It's just everything was just so unclean. Operations were taking place, like trays with torture tools, rusted pliers. just splatters everywhere. And the screaming was just like uncontrollable screaming and sobbing. I think certain people are celebrated there more than others. And I'm going to also say that I think that people that rejected their calling, rejected their higher power, and chose to cause chaos and misery and suffering around animals and children, they are loved in hell. They're tortured, but they're loved. So, from my understanding, there's different levels to this. And I think I was on the outer wall of it. I don't even think that I was in like the epicenter of this realm. So, yeah, I'm going to probably just leave it there. There were some people slumped over in the hallways. One of them was a woman with her womb ripped open. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to leave it there in terms of the details of what I saw. I remember turning around and just running. All right. So I was just running. I knew I had to run and I didn't want to get caught. And I felt like things were closing in on me. Like I just thought at any minute, something was going to grab me. Also as well, I want to say that a lot of the demons that I saw in these rooms with people, their size proportion is huge. Some of them are huge. They're like physically double or triple in size. So they could easily just pick you up like a doll and throw you around. I didn't see demons that were smaller looking in stature than a human. Their proportions and sizes were different, and some of them had animal faces. Some of them had one of them had a face of like an impala. Some of them looked very reptilian-like in the face, scales. Some of them looked like animals, like their faces looked like animals. And I also noticed some of the people that were there that was slumped and were just the lost people that I saw when I walked into this kind of area, they also had animal features. And I think that's to do with them behaving like animals. Any type of, I have to be careful how I word this because I feel like in society now, this is why, it's like people identifying as animals, people behaving like dogs or pigs, piggy play, internal mutilation of the body, if you know what I mean. I can't say it too much here, but yeah, that's glorified, and then it's made a mockery of there because you made a mockery of your body. You rejected, anything that rejected its natural form to think that it could be more than what it was intended by like the universe or God or whatever. Okay, and as I'm talking, I'm getting because I don't know how it all works, so I don't know. But what I do feel, not all souls are equal. Some souls that come here and a lot of people, I believe, potentially, without me bringing any of my own experience into it, anyone with very low level consciousness to a certain capacity, I think doesn't, like, they get off the hook because of the responsibility of their behavior, because they weren't conscious enough to understand themselves, so they can't understand what they were doing. I think that does play a part in the hierarchical levels of souls. So like a really unaware soul that isn't aware of its own self, that didn't ever get, critical thinking or free thinking to a certain capacity. Yeah, this is quite complex. It's hard to describe. I think you might understand what I'm saying. If you can understand what I mean, leave a comment below. I don't want to sound... Yeah, I just think I'll probably just leave it there. But the feeling that I get is that the more conscious you are, the more work, like the more hell likes you. The less conscious you are, they don't really care. But the vibe is, and I think what's happening is that hell is overflowing. There are so many souls and so many people getting trapped in this realm. So, yeah, and maybe I'll talk about that in the next part. So I'm going to leave it there for the description part. I feel like I've given it a very good description. And just to save you the hassle, I'm going to just speed this up, and then I'm going to go into the exit of getting out of this. I ran and I ran and I ran, and I started running back the way that I came in, only to find that it just seemed all different. It was like it was moving around on me. And another thing I want to bring up again is that size differences in hell is different. So a room that looked very small, if you went into that room, it could be really big in the room. It's disproportionate space. Space and time is not how we would see it here in the physical 3D. It can change. It can morph. It can move. All right? Yeah. Okay. So that's that. And okay, so the best part about all of this is I got to get out of it. So I was just running and crying, and I remember just falling to my knees. And I was so low on energy. Like I just wanted to die. I didn't want to stay here, but I didn't know what to do. I was thinking of my dog, my family, people that I care about. And I was thinking of experiences that I've had in my life that to me were very special. They were very beautiful. And I started to try and go into prayer. Now, I don't pray really. I'm not a praying person, but I knew enough to know what I had to do. So I started praying, and I put my hands together on the ground and just started kind of huddling in myself and just eyes closed. And then I just started saying Archangel Michael's name. I started to envision him. I call to you to feel the beating heart of you, to know you, to see you, show me yourself. I kept saying stuff like that. I called out, like I know how to do an evocation anyway. So I was basically evoking and bringing him to me, trying to get an angel. I knew I had to get an angel. And I feel that this whole experience is because of this particular angel showing me this, because I'm at a crossroads in my life right now where I've just actually come out of a very dark period, very, very, very dark period in my life. I can't go into that too much, but yeah, basically I've gotten away from a very, very evil, psychotic person. And so coming out of that, and this person's hold on me as it's dissipating away and getting off me, I feel like I'm opening up my heart to the light. I'm opening up my heart to the other realms above. Because just hitting the pause button here, I don't know whether you know this or not, but I want to share this just off the subject of hell per se. I believe now, from what I know, people can still create demonic links to the demonic world and hell based on their behavior, based on their mindset and their energy and their attitude and their heart. And they don't even know that they're doing it. They've got no clue. So they're connecting with this unbeknownst to themselves, not knowing what they're doing, but they're doing it. All right. So that's one of the things that I've learned and I'm sharing here is that as well. I felt footsteps closing in. I felt energies coming around me, and I just knew I was going to be grabbed at any second and probably dragged back into one of those rooms. And I just kept saying his name. I kept saying his name. I kept saying his name. I kept calling out. I kept praying, and I really started to focus and really go into my internal self and really push this energy out as like a mayday warning, like at any second they're going to get me. Because I was totally spotted, but they just didn't really care, because it's like they could see that I was there, but they didn't they didn't. It's like the intruder alert was alerted to them, but they can sense it, but they don't rush. Everything's very slow there. There's a process that they go through. If you're going to ask me the process, I would say you probably get brought before a king in hell, or you get brought before a leader, a general or whatever, and then they will decide what treatment you get, and then the demons get to fight over you and play with you as their plaything, really. But yeah, that's what I believe happened. So that didn't happen to me, thank fuck. So this energy came through it was on the right-hand side of my body, and I felt straight away this warm, safe feeling. It was a glow, and it was a touch. Like all of a sudden, the pain of my feet being all ripped up from the ground, my eyes, everything, the pain just fell. It just dropped off me. It was like everything was just dropped off me. All the uncleanliness of just being the grime that was all over my body it just got ripped off me. It came through in waves, and then I just got waves of the most beautiful colors. These colors just came over me. Waves of, I can't even describe how spectacular these colors were. It was just the complete color opposite to what I was in. And it was just like pinks and greens and blues, and they were all swirling, and it was pulsating like a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. And I just started looking. I opened up my eyes, and I just saw all of this light coming down around me. I felt these beautiful, it was just these wings. The wings were fucking huge, absolutely huge. The feathers of these wings were like the size of my whole arm. They just wrapped around me, and I just felt this kind of pulling up, like getting pulled up. I was getting pulled out. Okay, so I was getting pulled straight back out. And that's when I started coming back up the way that I'd come, like down. It was like a light, a tube of some kind. I knew that was where I must have fallen into this thing, and now I'm coming out, so it's reversing where I was. And light just started shooting out of my body, out of like my fingers. It was coming out of my mouth. It was just, I just felt complete love. Love that I had, like I've never felt before. And I'm not going to freak you out, but this love that I felt was like, I feel like I'm trying to articulate this, and I think I'm doing a good job, but it's like being in a bath or a womb, very safe, like in a warm bath. Like that's what it felt like. It was like all around me, and it was like, yeah, I think I'll just leave it there. I don't want to get too graphic, but that's what it was. And I'll never forget that feeling, because that must be the power of an angel. That must be the power of what it was. And that's when I came straight back up. And then when I came back up, I think I'll probably I'm going to take a break. I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to continue the process of coming back as well, because it wasn't easy either. So I hope I've described this. I know this is a lot. I have had to summarize a bit in this part of this recording, because it's too full on, it's too graphic. And I'm going to take a break. I'll come back, and then I'll read you the final bit. And then I think I'll leave it there. Okay, I'll see you in the next uploading, okay? Hello, this is the final recording. After I've done this video, part 3, and shared my thoughts on this whole experience and what it means for me, I'm going to probably more than likely be taking a bit of time off the channel just to live my life. And I'm going to be processing all of this and trying to understand what happened, why it happened. Was this a vision of a time to come that humans will get to? Was this a vision of a destination that I'm going to go to? What does this mean in terms of reincarnation? And how long does one stay in this realm? These questions are all in my head, and I'm sure that they are more like that's what I'm probably going to be getting now. Lots of people reaching out and be like, hey, I don't know. That's how I feel. Like, I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring this out. Up until now, I did not believe in hell. I didn't believe in this level of cruelty. And I thought in myself that, what I said in part 1, which was that the Bible, is a series of essays. It does create a structure of some level. And I think humans need that structure, because I know it sounds crazy, but humans are so stupid. They need something to tell them not to kill each other. They need something to tell them not to steal and rape each other. I mean, that's the world that we're in. But what I'm getting now in terms of this kind of astral visit to the lower astral realm is hell is overflowing. There are so many evil people now. There are so many narcissists. There are so many psychopaths that it's just overflowing. Out of all of the things that I'm trying to process and remember, more than anything in hell were people that had set something in motion in the world that have caused massive suffering of others. Politicians are all of them are in hell. Most of them are in hell. Royal family members, kings and queens, they're all down there. Evil dictators, obviously like Mao, Hitler, Pol Pot, the Queen, even the Queen, I actually believe that she was there too. Anyone who had the power to free others or help others on levels that were unprecedented, like having the ability to help others but keeping it the way that it was, and just sat on their wealth and sat in their power, this also works in a favor of tipping the balance of the world that we're in. I've learned that already. Hell is all about inversion. There is no, the people there and the souls that are stuck there now are not, like, they were unholy, they were ungraceful, they were gluttonous, and saw the world and others as things for them to play with, as like a toy that they get bored with and then throw away. A lot of lawyers, a lot of people that practice litigation and law were there. That was one of the things that I remember, is that lawyers, while they were each like strapped in their chairs, they were being tortured, I could hear them trying to bargain with the demons. They were trying to say, I can make a deal. We can talk. I can do this for you. And the demons are laughing because demons love that. The demons already won. You're already there. You can't leave. So the demons are just absolutely laughing. And that's the thing that I've got now. Please listen to this. It doesn't matter what your status is here. It doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter what car you drive or what house you live in or what your fucking job title is. So in the spiritual world, souls are just another soul. It's nothing in the physical world that you can achieve here other than loving others and helping others means anything to the demonic world. They love evil and they know your weaknesses. They can access your mind. They know your fears. They know how to groom you. A lot of people that end up in this realm are people that have made deals with the Goatic demons, with the Goetia. They've made deals with demons, and then they get there and it's like, where's my gold? Where's my promised world? You said, and it's like, the demons are laughing and taunting it. It's like, they're just like, God didn't put you here. The higher powers, of God did not put you here. You put yourself here. That's what the demons were saying. So yeah, a lot of people that are lobbyists that find loopholes to manipulate law, to trap people in poverty, to keep people trapped. Like a lot of China energy was there. A lot of Americans are there. Like I know it was a mix of everything because it was just like a screaming cesspit. But there were just so many, it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't, like, even if you have cognitive ability to understand empathy at any age, there is no age limit as far as I could see. Other than that, I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's like the kids that were there, they were sacrificed. And that's what kills me. People that dealt in contracts, like contracts of trapping, anything that ensnares someone, traps someone, sexual perversion. Hell is full of pedophiles. or people that played parts in like sex trafficking rings, pedo rings, anything like that. They're all there. I don't know how long they stay there for. I don't know. But they go into this lower astral and they stay there. The demons feed off the life force of others and the fear of others. So that's what I got. It doesn't matter what your status is. It doesn't matter. They don't care. Everyone that is unholy, that, yeah. The fruit that I saw, I think, was like a trap. I think there were other tables like that as well around, that was like, if I was to eat that fruit, it would accelerate my deformity faster. It would ensnare me, like a trap of sorts, I guess. And if you eat it, you become more demonic, more animalistic. The things that you hold most dear to you in this world is what you lose there the most. As far as mental illness goes, I don't know how much that plays account into it. If someone's out of their mind, like sickness of the mind is, yeah, it's big there. I don't know how much of it plays a part in this whole thing. There's so many questions. I probably need to speak to a demonologist. I don't know, a priest. I don't know. Probably not many people out there that would know what this means. Moving forward, I would caution anyone dealing with any level of connection to this realm to be very, I would just say don't. One of the things that I also heard when I was there, when I was walking around before I was captured and I got out, was that there were all of these whispers of people, but the whispers were kind of coming downwards, like sounds, and it was like chanting. And I think what that was all of the people that are trying to connect with this realm. So the realm down in there can hear what we're projecting. Like it could be anyone just trying to reach to that realm. So a little kid in their bedroom trying to connect with a Ouija board, or it could be someone that's what I feel that it was like, they can hear your thoughts. Like, I know that's pretty out there, but it's like the demonic world can sense and hear. And it's like, now I'm realizing a lot of these people that are trying to connect with like mediums, to connect with their loved ones, a lot of them are not like it's not them. It's actually a demon pretending to be, like, you're not getting up into the higher astral to get those messages from the angelic world and from the other ones. The demons are actually imitating your loved ones back to you. So they can share information about your loved one that is deceased and give you some breadcrumbs, like to lead you on to think that it's them, but it's not. It's just an echo. They can access that realm. I don't think demons can access the other realms because they're in this hellscape, but they are aware of certain things about us. And after what I saw with that girl and being disfigured, and, they were creating a masterpiece where they were like cutting her face up and mutilating her. is that they can sense our insecurities and then they play on that as also like a reference point to the demons that we have within us, our own greed and narcissism and vanity, self-hatred, fear, this type of stuff. They love that. They feed off it, and that's how they use that to infiltrate us in our mind. A lot of elite people were there as well, like very well-spoken people. The way that they dressed, a lot of them, I saw more people there that were wealthy and like affluent in their life here than I did of just like common people that are very poor. So that to me is very interesting. But yeah, like I said, in how you don't look exactly like yourself, you look more like the real version of you, like more of a distorted, demonic version of yourself. So yeah, that's what it is. Hell takes what you love the most and then uses it against you. And I think from my understanding now, I'm realizing that this realm, this lower astral realm, this eighth sphere thing, this hell thing, this is off limits to angels. They can't access these realms and get those kids out. Those kids are there. And this really pisses angels off. Also there, it's forbidden to talk about God. It is forbidden to talk. The quickest way to piss off or hurt a demon, just giving you this now from my understanding, is mention an angel. They hate that. Even the word of it is like they'll rip off your mouth. They'll pull out your teeth. They'll cut out your tongue. You are forbidden to talk about the opposite of what they are. It's like antimatter to them. That's why in hell they relish and love Christians and Catholics and anyone who was unholy and then hid behind their religion as like a false face. And anyone who was evil and did evil against others and then was like, well, I'm in the church and I go to church and God will protect me and he'll wipe all my sins and he'll nullify everything bad that I've done and correct everything. No, he doesn't. You're actually when like they love priests. Demons love evil priests because they've used the mask of virtue to hide. And so I think there's like special chambers and special places inside the infinity of what this realm is. And when I say infinity, I mean like there are spaces and places in hell that go on forever. You could get lost in there easily, like a maze of terror. It was like a fucking Resident Evil movie. It was like a fucking video game. One of the things that I'm now looking at since this experience, well, I'm not surprised, but it's really interesting if you don't know this, but a lot of Hollywood is very accurate to what this place is like. So to me, it's like when I see movies and depictions of these types of things that I've seen now in this astral visit, they're not exaggerated. It's like the elites or the cabal or Hollywood or directors and people that are all in on it, they depict hell, and they depict these places in horror films as they are, as it is. They're not hiding it, like it's in plain sight. And it's like the more that they include that, the more it connects to that lower realm in their movies and in media. And that's what's happening now, is that as humans are destroying themselves and mutilating themselves and practicing inversions and infractions against nature, as we're more separated and divided from ourselves through the things that we do, the natural laws between what holds this realm there and here are fraying. I'm not crazy. Please, I'm not crazy. I'm just sharing this knowledge. I'm sharing this information. That's why after these videos, I'm going to be off YouTube for a while, because I need to collect my thoughts and I need to reevaluate everything. I just thought that, and I've even, I've even said in videos before that hell isn't real, and that what purpose would it serve someone to suffer for eternity if they don't get a shot at learning to correct that mistake in another life? But now it's like, if the earth, or if we destroy ourselves and the planet, so life is no longer sustainable here, that's what hell wants. But then there's nowhere else for us to reincarnate into this realm once we've destroyed it. Hell just becomes here. And that's the vibe that I'm getting, is that they're gearing up in this realm. They're actually wars and things like atomic bombs and things like mass destruction. When that is done, it's like a ritual that opens up things to them. One of the things that I heard one of the daemons say was that hell leaves no loose ends. So if God or Yahweh or Jesus or whatever the fuck can see everything, because that's what angels are, they're eyes. If the angels can see everything, then of course the fucking demonic world can see everything. Yeah, this is so heavy, but there's so much going on, as I'm kind of reevaluating this whole thing. I mean, I haven't even shared how I got back out, but I don't think I want to go into, I think I don't want to go into this too much more, because it's just so fucking heavy and negative and fucked up. But this isn't dreaming. I wasn't fucking dreaming, and I'm not crazy. Coming back out of this physically and returning to this plane was not easy on my heart, on my body as well. When I came back up, it was like I sunk into my body and I sunk into my bed. But when I got pushed back up from the angel wings and I came back up into my body, it took my body a while to readjust. It wasn't like I just woke up and I just got up and went, oh, I had a dream. No, coming out of this experience was like reversing myself from that level of atmospheric pressure and being in this place was very hard. Very hard. What happened was I came back in my body and I couldn't move. There was that body paralysis. So I had to take a while to just like get up, just pull myself up on the side of my bed. I was so disorientated. My head was spinning. I had a massive amount of pressure around my head and the back of my neck, in the back of my skull. And then I just went to stand up after a minute or so of sitting on the side of my bed. I was covered in sweat. The light was coming through the window into the bedroom. So what had happened was, like I said, time moves very, very slowly. So what had been one night and not even more than a few minutes was the next day here. So there's a disjointed time difference between this time zone and there. That's why when I was there, I saw clocks in some of these rooms as these people were being tortured. They would look at the clock and the clock would just show that nothing has moved, that it's also slow. That's part of the torture. And I remember just going to stand up and I actually fell. I fell forward and I landed against the wall. I nearly smashed my head into the wall of the side of my bedroom. Just coming back out of this was like coming out of like fucking hyperspace in like one of those, one of those sci-fi films. It was like I needed to vomit. I was completely it took me a while to get my bearings back here. The whole day I was just rat shit. I couldn't leave the house. And this isn't something you just call and tell someone on the phone. Like, who the fuck am I going to talk about this with other than people out there in the world? If I went to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, they would prescribe medication for this level of thinking. And I'm not crazy. And I know I've been saying that on and on and on, but I really am not. And I'm tired and angry that I have to constantly like fucking defend myself when all I'm trying to do is share the knowledge that I've downloaded in my brain. And I believe that Archangel Michael has shown me this vision and has given me this knowledge for a reason. I believe this happened for a reason. I don't believe I would have ever have gotten out of there had I not have asked and reached out for him. There is no way. Luckily, my body wasn't physically dead, because if it did, I knew that I'd be fucked. I wouldn't be able to get back in to my body. So yeah. I know probably people have got questions and that's fine. Just be patient with me at this time because I'm trying to understand a lot of this myself. One of the things that I wasn't overly surprised about was because hell is very sexual, and it's all about like the lower part of the human astral, which is about the dick and the clit and sex and acts of debauchery. I don't know how to say this, maybe this would be another video, but a lot of, I won't say it. I think I'll leave that for another video. That's another time. This has been so much already, and I know I cover a lot of information in very condensed videos and in podcasts, but sometimes when I open up my mind and I'm trying to communicate, it's like all of this just starts pouring out of me, and sometimes I don't even know where it really comes from. same when I was doing my readings. I don't know sometimes, and I've just learned to trust that it is for the highest good, because that's my intention. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you. All right, I think I'll leave it here for today. This is probably enough to think about, and then I will maybe come back and do some more, and then I'll leave it here. But yeah, this is my return part of this chat. And if you've made it this far and you've been listening to my series that I've just started doing, then, you know, this is my testimonial and this is my experience. So I'm just sharing it. All right, I'll leave it here. And you can contact me on Instagram. I may not respond right away, but yeah, I do get the messages, and maybe you know some of the answers to these questions. I'm still navigating this as well. I don't claim to be an expert on this. I'm just sharing what I've learnt and what I've seen and the knowledge that I've been able to get. Okay, all right. Sending love and truth to you from my heart, and thank you for listening to me. Okay, all right. Bye.